Welcome back to American Morning. You can tell how well Herman Cain is doing by the increasing number of attacks coming his way from his Republican rivals. The Georgia businessman must have felt like a piñata at this week's GOP debate in New Hampshire. The other candidates ganging up on him and his so-called 999 tax plan. But the shots he's taking don't seem to be sticking. Look at this turnaround for Cain. He's surging while Mitt Romney treads water and Rick Perry plunges. In the latest NBC Wall Street Journal poll, Cain is the Republican frontrunner with 27% of the vote, 4 points better than Mitt Romney. Let's bring Shira Toeplitz in. She's a politics writer for Roll Call. She's in Washington this morning. Shira, welcome. Good to see you again.
Good morning. Good to see you, too.
You know, somebody said to me the other day they love Herman Cain as their grandfather, not necessarily as president. Sounds like a whole lot more people are liking the idea of Herman Cain as president.
Yeah, there's no question Herman Cain has done a really good job in the last several weeks of connecting with voters, especially on a national level. He's had a very good couple weeks. But I don't think it's a coincidence that he's gone up in the polls directly as Governor Rick Perry has gone down in the polls. That has something to do more with another candidate, Mitt Romney, who some people call the front runner in this race. I think a lot of voters who just don't like Mitt Romney, they don't like some of his positions, are looking for an alternative. And Herman Cain right now is that alternative. Will it be lasting? We'll see.
Well, let's talk about where he's losing support from. I mean, we are not talking a lot about Michelle Bachmann these days. We're not talking about John Huntsman. We're not talking about Rick Santorum all that much. We're still talking about Rick Perry, but boy, Rick Perry in that last poll seems to have lost a lot of steam.
Yeah, Rick Perry has definitely had a bad couple weeks. He started off the race really well. He was very strong. As we saw, he was getting up to 38% in some polls. He was doing terrific. But these last couple weeks, following his debate performance in Florida a few weeks ago, just have not been that good for him. And really one of his last chances to turn it around was the debate earlier this week. And a lot of people think he didn't do it. He was kind of quiet. He faded into the background. And Herman Cain just got right up there, and he was fighting one-on-one with Romney.
Herman Cain's campaign is doing well in spite of itself. There are some people who've been saying he's not properly staffed up. He's campaigning in states that don't matter to the primaries, that he seems more to be campaigning for a TV show or to sell more of his books. He's now said that his book tour is over. He hasn't been to New Hampshire since the summer. So what does this say? I mean, can Herman Cain decide that he actually wants to step this up and goose up his campaign and maybe actually be a contender here?
I think if Herman Cain is really serious about winning the Republican nomination, we'll see him change his travel schedule a lot. I've seen him in states like Arizona, Texas, doing things like promoting his book. If he really is serious about this, he's got to go to Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Florida, and maybe Nevada, too. These are the key early primary states. And if he's not in these states, it's going to be really hard for him to meet with voters. You know, it's not all about a national presence or a national, how you do in national polls. It's meeting these voters in these key early states that decide the nomination process.
Tell me this, Shira. The conservative faction of the party, these folks who are going to vote in the primary, have really been spreading their love between Michelle Bachmann and Rick Santorum and Rick Perry and Herman Cain, and nobody has sustained the very conservative love for too long in this campaign, and we're still more than a year out from the election. What about Herman Cain suggests that he lasts longer as the darling of the conservative part of the Republican Party?
You know, I'm not sure there is something that suggests he'll last longer, except that we're running out of candidates to become flavor of the month right now. You know, it seems like every month a conservative alternative to Mitt Romney pops up. It was Chris Christie for a while, Rick Perry, Michelle Bachmann late in the summer. You know, I wonder when we're going to run out of candidates. I'm not quite sure. In fact, Herman Cain is relatively new to politics, as he says that's a benefit to his candidacy. But sometimes some of these new candidates, there are some things we don't know about them.
Right.
I think you'll see some news stories in the next couple of weeks, probably digging into his past. We're probably going to see a whole new side of Herman Cain in the next couple weeks.
But he always says fun things on TV. I'm going to have our viewers listen to this because somebody accused him not even of being a flavor of the month, but flavor of the week. Here's what Herman Cain said.
Will I be the flavor of the week? Well, the answer is an emphatic no, because Haagen-Dazs black walnut tastes good all the time.
He is appealing. People like the way he talks. He sounds not very political when he talks, but I think you're right. We'll find out a lot more about him. Shira, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Haagen-Dazs black walnut tastes good all the time.